Hey, welcome to Z Business Solutions YouTube channel. I'm Zach, and today we are going to look up the VLOOKUP function in Excel. This is one of the most used functions for anybody that uses Excel to look up different things from different tables, bringing them into a new table from data sets, large data sets, bringing them in and condensing them down to maybe even just looking up a few different things. We're going to go through a couple different ways to use VLOOKUP, some of the things that you want to avoid, and some of the mistakes that you can make. Let's get started.
All right, guys, let's get into the VLOOKUP function. Now, what I have here is just a small set of data. This data is just an example set. I mean, you'll have a lot of times you'll have a larger set of data. But imagine that you were tasked with taking all the employee IDs from this data and matching them with a blank set of employee IDs and bringing in the name and years worked for the employee. So let's take a look. I have a table here that's hid. So let me unhide it real quick. And in here, so you'll see that I have the employee IDs, and they're all, say that they're, right now I have them in descending order, but they could be all mixed, matched up, you know. They could have, like this could be 9, and this could be 10 here, and this could be, 3, and this could be 4, or this could be 3, and this could be 5. So these are all now, they're a little mixed up, and actually we have a couple here. Let's say it's 9 and 9, so this would be, let's do this as 7 here. And okay, so let's look. Now, we want to bring in the data from the left table here, the name and the years worked, and we want to bring it into the right-hand table here, the lookup table. Now, this is pretty easy because this is a small data. I mean, you could go here and just copy and paste and find the numbers and match it up. But if when you're looking at like thousands of rows of data or hundreds of rows of data, it's not worth your time to be looking them up one by one. So the best way to do it is with the VLOOKUP function. And so what we'll do is we're going to hit equals VLOOKUP, and Excel auto-completes for you. So once you see the function that you need, you can always hit tab and it'll complete it for you. And then we need our lookup value. The lookup value is always the leftmost value that you're going to utilize in the table, in the current table that you're looking up into. So you'll just highlight that. And we'll do a comma. Now, table array is the array of data that you're looking at. And this always starts with the same column that you're looking up. So if you, for here, employee ID, we're using the same column. So we're going to select on the table employee ID, and then we want to bring in name and years work. So we're going to slide over and grab everything in this table. So this is our table array. Now, if we selected name and years worked, and tried to bring in that, it would bring us back an error value because we don't have anything that matches up the employee ID. So you want to have whatever lookup that you're looking up here, you want to start with that on your original data table and bring in the other columns that you need. Now, once we've done that, we count to the number of columns you want, and you start with the number, start with 1 on the column up for your lookup. So this would be column 1, this would be column 2, and then this would be column 3. So name is in column 2. We are going to put a 2 here, and then we're going to put false because we want an exact match. And I'm going to say about 99.999% of the time you're going to use false. I don't think I've ever used true because I don't want it to bring back something that's incorrect. I wanted to bring back the exact same thing that I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and hit enter, and my table auto-completed it for me, so it brought back every single person. Now we can validate this, and we can look here real quick and say, okay, 7 is Happy Gilmore. Do we have a 7 here? Okay, 7 is Happy Gilmore. Boom, it is done. We are good to go there. The next thing we need to do is bring in years worked. So let's write it out again. So equals VLOOKUP, and we're going to, again, grab the employee ID, and we're going to grab it from the same table array. And this time, it is column 1, 2, 3. So we're going to bring in column 3, and then we're going to hit false. So false brings you the exact match again, and we hit enter, and it brings us in all the years work. So say, let's see here. So we got Happy Gilmore, employee ID number 7, and he's worked 7 years. Is that correct? Happy Gilmore, 7 years. We can come back down here and do another spot check. Hermione Granger, employee ID number 2, and she's worked 5 years. employee number 2 is Hermione Granger, and she's worked for 5 years. So we have all this data correct, and we can correctly see everything there. Now let's say that we have a duplicate value. So let's say we have 2 number 10s. So let's change Happy Gilmore to number 10, right? Number 7 is going to bring in an NA because we got rid of number 7. And we can bring in number 7 here. So let's bring in number 7. And we're going to bring in, let's say it's Emperor Palpatine. If I can type. And we'll say he's worked there for 50 years. Okay, he's an old guy. He's been there forever. So Emperor Palpatine is now number 7. And if we look at number 10, it's no longer Anakin Skywalker. It is now Happy Gilmore. Why this is because when you have a duplicate value, Excel and the VLOOKUP function will only bring in the first time it comes across it. So this is something where you want to make sure that you do not have duplicate values in your data set. If you do, you're going to have to find a way to make the lookup value a distinct value. A lot of times for an employee ID, you won't have this, but say like you have a sales team and say it's a total state and you have multiple rep numbers for each of these sales reps, and the sales reps can be duplicated in the 2 different states. So let's say I'm in California. Say we have a Northern California and a Southern California. And in Northern California, rep 1 could be, Doug Bandit. And in Southern California, it could be Daniel Kloss. So let's actually do that. Let's go ahead and put in let's insert column here. And let's go ahead here and let's put in, we'll put site, and site will mean Northern California or Southern California. So we'll put NCA for NorCal, SCA for SoCal. And so let's go ahead and just copy these, and we'll do this way. And then we'll do one more NorCal. No, we'll keep him. We'll keep him as NorCal. Okay, so say we have a couple different ones. Let's say he is 2, number 2 as well. Okay, so now we don't have a way to look them up, right? We only have this. Well, hopefully in your data set that they gave you who. Let's put this here, and let's do the site as well here. And we're going to say, okay, so we're going to have a NorCal and a SoCal, and let's see, what was 9 here? 9 was NorCal. Let's put him there, and let's put 10 here's NorCal, and then let's put another 10 here, SoCal, and we'll add 1 is NorCal here, 2 SoCal. We have 2 2s, so let's add a row, and let's put another number 2 here, and let's say NorCal. Okay, and number 8, we're going to do SoCal. Number 6 is SoCal. Number 3 is NorCal. Number 4 is SoCal. And number 5 is non-existent. So we will delete number 5 for now. So say we got this. Say we got this data set, and we have this data set. So how are we going to make this a distinct value? Well, what we can do is we can use the concat function. So let's insert here, and we're going to do a concat column. And the concat function basically just brings the 2 together to make it into a distinct value. So equals concat, and then we'll select the first value, and then we'll select the second value that we want to put together. So here we go. Now we have 1 NCA, which is 1 in NorCal, so it's the employee ID and the site combined. And what this means here is, what it does is it just puts everything together so that way you can create a distinct value. And this is the best way to use a VLOOKUP if you have, like I said, multiple numbers in your data set from two different areas. Now let's do the same thing over here. So we're going to insert this, and we're going to do equals concat, and we're going to bring out employee ID, and we're going to bring in site. And you want to make sure you do it in the same order, because if you don't, it's going to give you an error. It's not going to find the value. So here we go. We're going to come over here to name again, and instead of bringing an employee ID, let's go ahead and just delete it, and we're going to redo it anyways. So let's do a VLOOKUP again, VLOOKUP, and this time we're going to look up the concat column, this column right here. So that's our lookup value that we're looking up, and then we're going to bring over here to the concat, and here's, instead of starting on employee ID, we're going to start on concat because this is the value that we're looking up. So we start here, and then we want to bring in name and years worked. We don't need to bring in site, so we can leave that alone, but we need to bring in name and years worked because those are the two columns that we're trying to get data from. Now again, even though we brought in a new column and we're looking up a new column, this is still the second column that we're going to look up for name. So again, we're going to start here as 1 because this is our beginning of where we're looking up. This is number 1, and then this is number 2, and this is number 3. So we're going to do number 2 as our index that we're looking up, and then false again for exact match. So here we'll see, okay, 7 NorCal, Emperor Palpatine. And then look here, 10 NorCal is Happy Gilmore. Is that correct? 10 NorCal is Happy Gilmore. What about 10 SoCal? 10 SoCal is Anakin Skywalker. So everything, and you can see here where it brought in Happy Gilmore twice, and in here you're bringing in only Anakin Skywalker. So it's bringing in the correct values because now you have a way to have a distinct value that only brings in the distinct value from the other table. Now let's do this one more time, and let's do a VLOOKUP here, and we're going again to do it on this value on column 1, and then we're going to bring in the table array. I'm going starting from concat over to years worked, and bringing the third column here. We're bringing here, and then we're going to do false for an exact match. Boom! Now we have Emperor Palpatine 50 years. We have Johnny Sparrow number 2 as from NorCal 6 years, and Johnny Sparrow number 2 from NorCal over here 6 years. Hermione Granger number 2 from SoCal, and she is here for 5 years. And so as you can see, we have done the VLOOKUP value and brought in all the data we wanted to do. Okay, guys, and like I said, this is something that you can utilize with a whole range of other functions. You can do things that you can bring in data from other things, but just keep in mind that it brings in the first thing that is, that it finds. So like I said before, if there's duplicate values, it's only going to bring in that first value that it comes across in the original table that you're looking up in. All right,
guys, that is the VLOOKUP function. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. You can be notified when there's further videos coming to you. Also, if there's anything else that you'd like to see, please put them in the comments below. We can make some videos about those. And if you'd like to support the channel, we are available on Patreon for your support, so we can continue to give you some great content. All right, guys, I will see you next time.